to shoot two people the same thing, the same way. It's not possible. It's not possible. Now, what God showed Peter, he didn't show another person. So the word rock cannot be used to define two lives. Let me say again. I said the word rock cannot be identified with two personalities. Now, the word, please, I would like you to hear me. The word Christ, which defined Jesus as the Son of God, cannot be used to define another person. The word. That is why in Matthew chapter 24, one of the ways to know false prophets is when people claim to be Christ. We will not have two Christs, because Christ is a revelation. I said we will not have two Christs, because Christ. Now, if you are alive and you have not grown to know through fellowship that there are things you don't share with anybody, then you have not defined your person or your personal relationship with God. There are things you don't share with people, and then there are things you share with some few people. Let me define it. There are things you don't share with people at all, and then there are things you love people by sharing it with them. That is something that reveals intimacy. There are revelations that reveals intimacy, either with God or with ourselves. That is something that you will tell somebody, it becomes like a jewelry in the neck. That is, the person is upgraded immediately. Now, if God doesn't want you to die, doesn't want anybody to die, what God does is to tell you something that will keep death away from you. Let me say again. I say, if God doesn't want somebody to die, now what God does is he will tell somebody something that will keep death away from that person. Now, when God tells you something that will keep death away from you, God believes he has shared his life with you. Now, please hear me. There's a mystery. There's a mystery. It is not possible for a living man to understand how important revelation is until he goes to eternity. Let me say again. It's not possible for a human being to know how important revelation is. Why? Because man is vile. What I mean by vile is man is distracted. Man is a distracted personality, because he's under the cloud of witchcraft, where things appear the way it is not. The earth is a place where things that are not important are celebrated by men, because they are doomed. I don't know why somebody's hearing what I'm saying. I said the earth is a place where things that are not important are celebrated by men, because men are doomed. So the difference between one woman and another woman is not really sweet, because we all have 24 hours. It is a revelation that introduces our person to God. What I call your hiding place. Something that God will depend on to give you peace. Something that order your step. Listen, something, a form of brightness that introduces the quality of your spirit. I say a form of brightness that introduces the quality of your spirit. Something that made Jesus to look for Peter and knew that the only person that can lead his disciples after he has left the earth is a man of that quality. And it was revelation that made the spirit of Peter of high quality. The moment that Peter said, you are the you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. Jesus knew that Peter is the rock. Every other thing Peter did extra in the Bible emanated from that revelation. He wanted to take away the ear of Marcus. He wanted to walk on water for a short while. He wanted to follow extra mile to crucifixion. Excuse me. Do you know what it means for somebody in a church to know that the old man he met is where his or her life ended? Is it not different from somebody who is in a church and he doesn't understand what is called end of life? What is called vision is that you saw something and your life ended. And your life ended. That is what is called blessedness. From that time your life ended. From that particular time your life ended. You conquered confusion. You're no longer moving around. You're no longer looking for favor. You're no longer looking for options. You're no longer saying, I don't know, I'm suffering too much. I don't know what to do. You know what to do because your life is ended. Now that ending of life is called blessedness. There is no person, there's no human being in the Bible that the life that there cannot be immortality until life end from birth. That is, you died the day you were born and you know what took your life. Yes, it was that day that you were born that you died. Now excuse me, if you spend 15 years of that life in the wrong direction, you will still pay for confusion. You will pay for that time you are wandering up and down. Any part of your life you lost in purposelessness, you will pay for it. It's called decay in the realm. You've lost it, you will suffer for it. It's called decay, it's called abuse. That is the years of your life that God was not in charge, and you will pay for allowing God not to be in charge of your life at that particular time in your life. Because you use that part of your life to serve the wind and Satan. And as you keep on growing, God will make you to know that you wasted a particular year in your life. As you keep on growing. That is why when people like John, Jesus was about to be born, the angel went to their parents and said, don't, from the one in their womb, don't allow these people to waste one day. Because somebody who wasted 10 years of his life will never be immortal. He's a holo. I said on Tuesday, immortality is not a gift. It's not an impartation. It is a harvest of yourself. I said, revelation points to destiny. From what God is telling you, God will be pointing your destiny to you. I said, from what God will be telling you, he'll be doing what? He will be pointing your destiny. Listen, if God is coming to you in a way, showing you revelation, God is pointing to something. Revelation points us to destiny. That is something God will be telling you. He might not tell you everything at a time, but what he has told you already is telling you about the other future. Because revelation is like a book. It comes in chain. He will tell you this, and then from that you understand 5 years to come. And please hear me, because revelation points to destiny. God does not gossip. It doesn't gossip. What I mean by God doesn't gossip is that